Hello and welcome to Kaleidoscope with me, Savitri Rodrigo. It's been an eventful week, as you would find in our People's Bank news capsule, where the World Bank country manager for Sri Lanka, Cheo Khanda, joins us from Washington to say why Sri Lanka was downgraded to a low middle income country. Chairman of Sellico Life R. Renganathan explains the vital need for health insurance even while there is universal healthcare in Sri Lanka, and we take a sweet and smoky taste of Kimbula Ketul with young woman entrepreneur Chanchala Gunawardana. On Sellico Life, let's talk, we have a true powerhouse. Founder of Pair Partners, professor at Northwest University, Washington, and senior consultant at Mosey McCann, Hannah Segertz, on her 24 siblings, leading women to do great things and bringing business back to Sri Lanka. And it's all about style in Life in 60 with creative practitioner, stylist, educator, and former designer for Claire's Collection Los Angeles, Dinesh Chandrasena. And now, it's on to our People's Bank news capsule.
Technology is key in moving forward to transform every challenging moment into a profit, where manual becomes digital, business becomes smart, and lives become smarter. People's Bank Online Corporate Banking. It's truly the change you need.
So, as always, let's begin with our People's Bank news capsule. Last week, the World Bank reclassified Sri Lanka from an upper middle income country to a lower middle income one. Sri Lanka was among 10 countries reclassified based on various factors including economic growth, inflation, exchange rates, and population growth, which influences GNI per capita. World Bank country manager for Sri Lanka, Cheo Khanda, joined Kaleidoscope from Washington, D.C. to shed some light as to why there was a reclassification.
Recently, the World Bank has classified Sri Lanka as a lower middle income country. This was a result of two changes. First, a slight decline in Sri Lanka's GNI per capita in 2019, and second, an upward revision of the income class thresholds. Sri Lanka's income per capita moved just above the threshold last year, and it became an upper middle income country. This year, the threshold has been revised upward by US $50, while Sri Lanka's GNI per capita for 2019 dropped by $40. As a result, Sri Lanka just fell below the threshold. However, this classification does not affect the World Bank's country engagement nor the level of support provided to the country.
Business confidence has picked up in Sri Lanka, according to the LMD Nielsen Business Confidence Index. The index climbed 7 notches to register at 96 in June, higher than 1 year ago after the Easter Sunday attacks. But those confidence levels dipped a bit at the Colombo Stock Exchange this week. The indices moved down by 2.7%, and the daily turnover was around the same as it was last week at 1.4 billion rupees. The Banker released its rankings of the top 1,000 banks in the world this week. Sri Lanka's Bank of Ceylon, People's Bank, HNB, and Commercial Bank were featured in the rankings. Holding the top 4 places were ICBC, China Construction Bank, Agricultural Bank of China, and Bank of China, while the US's JP Morgan Chase was in 5th place. With COVID-19 hitting nearly every nation with gut-wrenching force, one of the biggest crises facing the world has been healthcare. And into this equation, therefore, comes health insurance. But given that the country has universal healthcare, I asked Chairman of Sellico Life, R. Renganathan, why Sri Lankans need health insurance.
Sri Lanka has one of the best healthcare systems in the world. They have good doctors, good nurses, and the best of equipment. Any citizen has the right to walk into a hospital and ask for the services he requires. However, due to the large number of citizens seeking their services, sometimes there are waiting lists for certain procedures. This is where health insurance comes in. If you cannot wait that long, then you have to seek these services from the private sector, which can be expensive. After the age of 70, obtaining health insurance could be a challenge. My advice to you is from your young days to set up a special fund to meet these needs.
Selinco Life has several health insurance plans, including critical illness, which costs a nominal 1,500 rupees monthly premium for a cover of 500,000 rupees, hospital cash benefit, which covers hospital stay up to a maximum of 15,000 rupees a day, with 5,000 rupees a day added for ICU care, and a medical reimbursement plan, which reimburses up to 50 million rupees. Most of us in Sri Lanka love the taste and flavor of kithul, honey, and jaggery. But the potential of Sri Lanka's kithul tree is taken for granted and has never been optimized. A far-thinking woman entrepreneur, Chanchala Gunawardana, saw the potential of kithul and decided to do something about it.
So when I taste Sri Lanka's pure kithul syrup straight from the farm, its distinctive, smoky, floral deliciousness that only our kithul has, I see all the potential in it and more than what New Zealand saw in Manuka honey. Yes, the syrup industry has its established giants such as Canadian maple, but the Manuka case proved that investing in product quality and protecting that and farmer craftsmanship, you can actually create a substantial market and a product that today commands 100 times more in price than its competitors in the honey industry. With kithul, I'm confident that a do-it-right approach can take us to such heights, and that is what I'm out to prove with my brand, Kimbala Kithul. So to make this happen, we can't do this alone. We have to act collaboratively and urgently. The current mass market model in which kithul follows sees sugar adulteration stripping the pure product of any of its distinct values and health values. And on the other end, it creates a supply chain in which the farmer cannot be fairly compensated for their hard work and traditional expertise. And therefore, they're pushing out their families from continuing this multi-generational labor tradition. Without them, the future of kithul will be short-lived.
And there's some good news coming out of the COVID-19 riddled airline industry. Virgin Atlantic announced a £1.2 billion recapitalization, which will hopefully bring the airline back into profits by 2022. It hopes to fly the same number of sectors as 2019 with a streamlined fleet of 37 twin-engine aircraft. The airline cut 3,500 jobs this year. Now, if you're a fan of Scotch whisky, you will soon be getting your Johnnie Walker Scotch whisky in paper bottles. Carlsberg is also in the process of developing paper beer bottles, and paper wine bottles made from recycled paper are already being savoured with much delight. Maybe it's time for companies like Pepsi and Coca-Cola to rethink their single-use plastic bottles. So, if you're a Pepsi or Coke fan, maybe now is the time to demand recyclable bottles and do your part for the planet. And if you're on the hunt for jars of Marmite, here's some jarring news. There's a Marmite shortage. With beer brewers slowing the production of beer, Marmite's most important ingredient, yeast extract, which is a byproduct of beer brewing, is in very short supply. In the UK, however, Carlsberg says it is increasing the amount of brewer's yeast it sends to Marmite to try and fix the worrying shortage of the spread. So, how many hot dogs can you eat in one sitting? Joey Chestnut, the winner at this year's Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest, ate 75 hot dogs, breaking his own record. He has won the contest 13 times. So, with those hot dogs in mind for the weekend, we close our People's Bank News capsule for the week. Coming up next is Selinco Life Let's Talk with powerhouse Hannah Sigurds.
With Selinco Life Pension Saver, Sri Lanka's premier retirement plan, start planning for your retirement today. Selinco Life, a relationship for life.
Today on Selinco Life Let's Talk, we speak with a young woman whose career trajectory has surely been dotted with stars. Meet Hannah Sigurds, who lives in Seattle and is currently a senior consultant for Mosey McCann in Washington, working with T-Mobile, a professor at Northwest University in Kirkland, Washington, and co-founder of Pair Partners. She's also been a senior consultant at Microsoft and project manager at Zones Inc., and she's only 27 years old. Her story is quite a treasure trove of discovery. Born to an American mom and Sri Lankan dad, Hannah grew up with 24 siblings, reveling in love, unity, diversity, and of course, discipline, which is one of the secret ingredients to her success. Her sojourn to the United States to complete her undergrad and master's led her to discover what she's best at: optimizing on people. She's been ultra successful, judging by the many irons she has in the fire, and because her results are proven across Fortune 500 companies. Very emphatic of not forgetting her roots, Hannah wants to give back to Sri Lanka. Her workshop, Ladies Who Lead, was so successful that she's planning on having more in that series. She founded Pair Partners to pair Sri Lankan businesses that possess extraordinary talent with worldwide projects. Her mission is to empower. I grabbed a few minutes with Hannah just prior to her returning to her work in Seattle and asked her what makes her so passionate about working with women.
I'd have to say I've seen throughout my time in the United States as well as in Sri Lanka the passion that women have once they're in the job. It's just incredible to see them working at home and then coming to work and then taking that whole scope of being a mom and then coming to work and then just giving it your all. I just love to see the passion of, that women have. Throughout my whole time, it's just been so exciting to see how women grow from one job to the next, and then they just, go all the way sometimes to the CEO level, even VP, which has been just so exciting. So I'm just excited to see how passionate women are and support that.
What do women bring to the table?
So I would definitely say sometimes it could be culture, sometimes it could be communication, the communication gaps, and then sometimes it's the confidence. So it just depends at what stage of life the person is in, and I think it could be a combination of one or two of them. So those are the things that I've seen throughout my experience so far.
What do you think stops women from optimizing their potential?
Oh, so much. I mean, when you think about women who, they have lives at home with their kids and, juggling, going to work and being at home, it's crazy how much potential, right? When you think about how they multitask, they are super detail oriented even at home. So why wouldn't they take that to work? So when they're at work and they are given all the things that they need to succeed, imagine the incredible things women could do. So there's so much.
So you've worked in multiple industries, highly diversified in various competencies, Microsoft and T-Mobile being two. How has that shaped the way you work and the way you think?
It's shaped my career massively, but something I do have to remember is the company that I first started with, Sprague Pest Solutions. It's a pest control company out of Seattle, Washington. Today they're growing rapidly, but when I first started, I was filing documents, and then from there they moved me into the accounting department, to the call center, to operations. It was huge, right? And so I definitely think working at these bigger companies have shaped my thinking in different ways, but I always remember the company that really helped me start out, because they gave me a different view of what operations is. How do you work with different people? How do you work with different teams? And so definitely it shaped my thinking in different ways. But one thing that I always remember, no matter the size of the company, no matter how many people you work with, it's how you present yourself, how you work with people, and where you start to leave your legacy.
You grew up with 24 siblings. How has that shaped the way your career has spanned out?
From when I was little, we would have chores. We would have things we had to do at a certain time. We would have to study at a certain time. We'd have to be at a certain place at a certain time because we had so many of us. So my parents had to juggle all these kids, right? And so I definitely think also with my mom's company, she helps raise the standards of children's homes across Sri Lanka. So she had a business on the side, which we would go and start helping her by going into these children's homes and doing everything we can to help raise the standards. And so I think we learned work ethic that way by our parents modeling it for us, but also because we had 24 children, it was trying to make sure that we were all at the right place at the right time. And there was a lot of times where my parents are in the car and like tooting the horn because 16 are in the car but not the rest. So yeah, definitely it has, and it's really helped me a lot to understand the value of work ethic and how to work with people together.
What gives you and Pair Partners the confidence to bring back business to Sri Lanka?
Oh, so I have so much confidence because I've seen the way people work in Sri Lanka. I grew up here, went to school here, and now with Pair Partners, when I started, I was trying to figure out, okay, how can we bring business back into Sri Lanka? I was thinking about, okay, what fields can we do this in? And then I realized we have so many product development teams here in Sri Lanka. We also have so many marketing teams, right? And so that's where it started. And now it's going down different avenues of, oh, could we have staffing? Could we have different types of things that we could do? So I think there's so much confidence because of the way we work here. We are a collective country, and we love working with people, and we love to do the best for each other. So I think that's something that Sri Lanka brings all together. Also, something on the side, we work while the rest of the world sleeps. So that's amazing, right? How in the United States, if I sell a project, everyone is working here in Sri Lanka while we sleep. So it really helps with productivity, efficiency, and getting the job done faster.
And how are you going to sell Sri Lanka to potential investors and businesses?
That's actually one selling point, right? That we work while you sleep in the United States. Definitely that's helped me a lot with my recent client. They were saying, okay, well, we don't always get back to our teams in time, so then we waste a lot of time. So that was a huge selling point for me. Also, the quality of work that we do in Sri Lanka is incredible. I'll just tell you a quick snippet of it. One of the clients that I sold the work, I just said, hey, I'd love to do some work for you. This is when I was testing it out. And I said, okay, let me get my teams to work on it, and we did their branding. They came back to me and said, Hannah, we love the branding. I said, okay, awesome. Did everything, wrapped up the project, and I said, hey, do you want to know who worked on your project? They're like, what do you mean? You have teams here in the United States, right? I said, no, actually my teams are in Sri Lanka. They're like, what? In Sri Lanka? You guys are producing this quality work? Why aren't we using you even more? So it's amazing to see the quality of work and then really push that and sell that.
What weaknesses in this country would you like to see righted?
Great question. For weaknesses, I would definitely say, since we are competing worldwide, we definitely need to look at how we communicate, how we bring our communication levels up to the international standard. And that's everywhere in the world, right? Not just Sri Lanka. That's just everyone merging and changing with how things are changing in the world. So definitely I would say communication is one.
So there you have it. Hannah Seegers, a very refreshing young woman who has the right attitude, not just for her work, which is diverse and multidisciplinary, but an honest need to empower people in her home country, Sri Lanka, leaving a legacy that we can all learn from. Good luck, Hannah.
With Selingco Life Pension Saver, Sri Lanka's premier retirement plan, start planning for a retirement today. Selingco Life, a relationship for life.
It's all about style next with Dinesh Chandrasena in Life in 60. How often have you looked in the mirror and wondered, am I doing it right? Former principal designer for Claire's collection in Los Angeles for 17 years, Dinesh Chandrasena designed for celebrity clients such as Oscar winners Sandra Bullock, Dame Julie Andrews and Halle Berry, along with numerous Miss USA and Miss America winners. And regionally, Dinesh creates gowns for Sonakshi Sinha and Jacqueline Fernandez, and has worked on design projects for the creative styling of the rebranding of Cinnamon hotels and resorts, lifestyle shoots, and creative directing of the Miss Intercontinental International. Style to her, therefore, is
Hi, my name is Dinesh Chandrasena, and I'm here to give you some style tips which would be useful for any occasion. Style tip number 1 for men and for women is being apropos, dressing for the right occasion, for the right time, and for the right place. Style tip number 2 is your skincare, hair care, and your grooming. Keep it clean, keep it simple, keep it elegant, and let yourself shine through. The same with my style tip number 3, which is for accessories. Again, keep yourself shining and make sure that it's your personality that comes through, and the accessories are just the frame to who you are. I wish you all the very best and happy styles ahead.
So just be yourself. That's the secret. Thank you, Dinesh Chandrasena, for those style tips and for joining us in Life in 60. That's it for this week. If you want to give us any feedback, suggestions, or maybe even stories you'd like to see, please do email us on kaleidoscopeweekly1@gmail.com. If you would like to watch Let's Talk, Life in 60 or our news capsule clips, you'll find it on our playlist on YouTube, or simply subscribe to Kaleidoscope with Savitri Rodrigo and join us weekly. So until next week, be sensible when you go out. It's important for yours and everyone else's safety. Now, here's your Kaleidoscope takeaway. If you can dream it, you can do it.